Hello everyone, this is John Galt speaking, here with a live stream video where I'm going to continue to add more to this basic locomotion system that I'm creating, tweak more, and this will probably be the last video. So the last video that I made where I was basically implementing more animations sets, I didn't put no audio in that video, and so if you guys have any trouble with that, I don't know what to tell you. I just didn't feel like chit-chatting. So we're going to go in here and we're going to continue with this. Let me see, I need to extract this. That goes in my documents, Unreal projects, and go. So the goal is, I'm still not quite sure if I'm going to put crouch in or not. I may, but I definitely think I want to put in a turn in place animation, simply because it looks a little weird. I've always thought that it looked weird with the character's feet just sliding. And I have another project where I worked very hard on getting a turn in place system put in, and I may, which I'm probably going to, have to use that as a reference, and I don't know, I might not be able to get it to work. We'll see. We will see. And so I guess basically what I can go through here is basically just talk through what I've did so far. So we're using animations that I extracted out of the Lyra example project and brought into a default third-person template. We left the default third-person animation blueprint that Epic created for this project. We left it intact, and I started making modifications to it and expanding it to include strafing animation, right? So instead of going in one direction, the character can actually go in all directions. Okay. And we're doing this using one of the new plugins that they have in the engine, which is called orientation warping. Okay. So normally when I would create a locomotion system, I would use a blend space, right? And then you would put in forward, backward, forward, left, forward, right, back left. You guys know the drill. Well, this way, with using the animation warping plugin that's built into the engine, I did it differently, right? So there is no blend space for that anymore. And now it's just playing directional animations. And then when you go forward, right, it uses the orientation warping to give you that animation instead of actually having an animation. And the same for forward left, and the same for back left and back right. And also those animations in that project, there are unarmed animations, there are walking animations, there are running animations, there's rifle walking and running, and there's pistol walking and running, and there's also crouch. Okay, so by default, this character that I have set up here, he's using the walking animations. And then if you hit your left shift button, that's when you put him into his run animations. Okay, and then I hot wired in with the Q button the ability to switch to different animation sets. And so you can see that this is the rifle animations here. And they have the same movement, right? Walk, and then there's also run, but you'll notice that when you're in the run with the rifle, he puts the rifle down and he, I don't know, he swings it back and forth. And then the pistol animations are the same way. So when you're in the walk animations, he's actually aiming. And then when you go into sprint, he switches over and he puts the pistol down and he's actually running. Okay. So what is the goal in this video? The goal in this video is to determine whether or not I'm going to try to implement crouch or not. And I would like to put in a turn in place animation so that when you're spinning your character around, he's not just, you know, skidding his feet on the ground. At least some sort of a crappy step to the left and step to the right type deal. Okay. Another thing that I need to do is, since I work mostly in multiplayer, is I need to make sure that all this stuff that I'm doing is in fact going to be able to be replicated. So before I go any further with implementing any more, I'm going to check here to see what, if anything that I've done so far actually manages to replicate. So to do that, we're going to, let's see here. We're going to have to put in another player start. Well, we don't have to, but we're gonna, okay. And then we're going to come up here, hit these little buttons, and we're going to change this over to 2 players. And we're going to go into advanced settings here, and I'm going to set my windows to 720 by 512. And then we're going to go back in here and we're going to go to net mode, and we're going to select play as listen server, because that's all I do is listen server stuff. And then we're going to go to new editor windows, and that will pop you up 2 windows, and one is client 1 and the other is the server. And you see it says right here which is which. Okay. Of course, Adam Oakler is going to ask for prone. Hell to the no, we're not doing prone. Ever. Like ever. Okay, so what I would like to see first is, does this same offset that I've got in replicate? And I pitch up and pitch up and pitch down, and you can see that it is working on both screens. I'm going to Alt Tab over here as the client, and we're going to see if this one does. Yep, it does. Okay, now let's see if the movement actually does. So yeah, it looks like he's got his full range of movement. All right, so let's bring the server over here, and we'll have him do the same thing, just to double, triple, quadruple check here. Yep, okay. All right, so what's next? Well, let's see if switching into a different animation set actually replicates. So we will take the server and hit the Q button, because I just hot wired it in here. And you will see that on the left screen, he actually went into the rifle animations. But if you're looking on the right screen, he's still in the unarmed animations. And then of course this would be the same, right? So if I hit Q on my screen, it looks like I'm in the rifle animations, but him looking at me, it's obviously not. So let's deal with that first, okay? So we're going to go into the character blueprint in here, where I hot wired this in here. And this is all I did right here. Actually, it's this part right here. Okay. So in order to get this to replicate, what has to happen here is 2 things. The first thing that has to happen is that this variable that I'm using here, called eAnimSets, that has to be set to be a replicated variable. So you select the variable, right? And then you come over here to replication, and you change it from none, you change it to replicated. Okay. So that's the first thing that has to happen. The next thing that has to happen is the server is the one that actually has to change the variable. So this button press is a client Okay, so we have to get it up to be the server is the one that's actually executing this logic right here. And to do that, we simply create a custom event, and we will call this server set anim set. How about that? And then we select that event and we change it here to be run on the server. Then the client will call that here, server set anim set. Okay. And now this should theoretically be enough to get it to replicate, because now the server, the client is asking the server to change this variable, and that variable is replicated. Okay, you guys see how that works? So let's go do a check here. And now when I press the Q button to change from one anim set to the other, voila, you can see that it actually puts the character in the rifle animations on both screens. And then if I hit it again, he will go into the pistol animations on both screens. And then again, he goes back to unarmed. Now we will Alt Tab and we will check the client to see that we have the same dealio. So I will press the Q button. Voila, he's in the rifle anims. And then I press it again. Voila, he is in the pistol anims. And then yet one more time, and now he's back to unarmed. Okay, so we got that replicating. Now the next thing is the sprint. Okay, so when I go from walking to sprinting, you can see that the client, it looks like he's sprinting, but he's got all this jerky movement going on, right? So all that stuff's crap. And of course, if you look on the left screen over there, he's still in the walking animations. Okay. And then if I Alt Tab here and take the server and do the same thing, you will see that it did change the speed, but the character's animation set did not swap. Okay. So sprint don't replicate. So we're going to have to go in here, and that is what I'm doing right here. Okay. So we're going to have to change this around a little bit here. So we're going to actually, what we're going to do is we're going to look at a project that I already have done this in, because guys, I'll just be honest with you. First of all, it's impossible to remember how to do all this shit. It's impossible. Second of all, I've already done it, so why should I sit here and fumble around trying to figure it out again when I have a reference project I could look at? And third of all, it's tricky in order to get this to work and not have that jerky movement, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to get one of my fantastical projects that I have for sale on the UE4 marketplace, by the way, called Multiplayer TPS Basic. Do you see it right here? Multiplayer TPS Basic. We are going to create a 5.0 version of this, and we're going to go in here and look how I did sprint, because this has sprint in it as well. Okay, replicated. So I'm going to go in here and look and cheat a little bit and say, hey, wait a minute, how the hell did I do that again? I don't know, but we're going to go find out. Oh, I'm thirsting to death. Okay, so now we're going to open this up. And by the way, if you guys don't own this, any of you new people that come around here, if any new people do come around here, if you don't own this, you need to seriously ask yourself why. This is an awesome project. And it actually has AI, shooting AI, that is deadly. Most AI that people put up on the marketplace are retarded. right? They all walk in a straight line. They're stupid. They don't got no intelligence. They don't strafe. They don't run backwards. The AI in this project is mean, and it does strafe, and it does go backwards, and it does aim, and it does have to reload, right? So you need to have this if you don't. Okay, so we're going to go into the master character blueprint, and let's just see, what the hell did I do to get Sprint to replicate in this project? I don't know. Okay, so right here is Sprint. Okay, so basically I did it on the server, which is what I figured. This variable has to be replicated, which is duh. And then here, it's also has to be done, the setting of the speed has to be done on the owning client as well. Okay, so that's the trick. So now let's go see if we can make this work. Okay, well, let's do that then. I could just copy and paste it, but hell, I'll go through the motions for you guys. Well, first of all, I don't like how I have this, right? So I've got it set up on a toggle. I don't want it on a toggle. I want you to have to hold down that left shift button. Okay. So we're going to rework this quite a bit here. So we're going to start out by creating a custom event. And we're going to call this server start sprint. And that is in fact going to be set to run on the server. Then we're going to create another custom event. And this one's going to be called server stop sprint. And that is also going to be set to run on the owning server. And of course, when we press the button, we're going to call server start sprint. And when we release the button, we're going to call server stop sprint. Okay. Okay. So we can get rid of this branch here. We don't need that. And then we're going to take server start sprint. That's going to go into starting the sprint. And then this is the stopping of the sprint right here. And let's move this down a pinch here. Move this over. I know you guys like watching me arrange lines and stuff. Isn't that fun? And this variable does need to be set to replicated. And then we have to create another series of custom events here. And this is going to be called client start sprint. And this is going to be set to run on owning client. And then we're going to create another custom event. And this is going to be called server. Oh, shit, no. This is going to be called client stop sprint. And that is also going to be set to run on owning client. And all we need to do for this is change the speed. Okay, so we're going to select the speeds over here and hit Control D to duplicate this. And this one will go to here. And this one will go to here. And we can use this same character movement variable here. And theoretically, that should be enough to get it done. So now we shall come back in here. And I am going to sprint. And you can see it did change the speed. And it changed the animation. See? On both screens. And now we need to check the client. So when he does it, you can see Uh-oh. It's still got that jerky. But it is changing the... Oh, I bet I know why. Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know why. Well, we'll go look at it. We'll try to debug it. But it is at least changing the animations, right? So now the server sees him sprinting. And it looks like the speed is changing on the server, but it looks like on the client, the speed's not changing. So what did I miss here? What did I do? What happened? Why did you guys let me break that? Well, I can tell you why. It's because we're not calling these events, right? Duh. So we have to call client start sprint, and we have to call client stop sprint. Well, duh. It happens, guys. Okay, come on, give me a break here. Hey, how about now? All right, so now we sprint. It is sprinting. It is changing the speed. I can see the speed change. I can see the animations change. All is right with the world. And then we shall take the client and see. Oh, look at there. No herky jerky. Looky there. And it is changing the speeds. How about that? Replicated sprint 3.0. Okay. Well, that wasn't too complicated. Especially when you got a cheat sheet. All right. So, and by the way, this part right here where we're changing these animation sets, I've only got that hot wired in here temporarily. You know, depending on how you want to put the weapons on your character, you might go 18 different routes in here. But just the way that I did this here, it at least gives you the way and the idea of how you could go about implementing more than a single animation set. Okay. Okay, so where does that leave us? Where does that leave us now? How about now? So we got the aim offset replicating. There was something that I noticed about the pistol though. Let me go back in here and come up here real nice. Oh, actually, wait a minute. You see how the character is clipping and it's causing that other character's camera to move? I don't want that, right? So we're going to go in here and dick around with some collision settings. We are going to go to the capsule component. And what the hell do we need to change here? Is it the capsule component? Or is it the camera collision? I don't know. Let's look. Okay, so under the collision presets, we need to change this to custom, and we're going to ignore the camera. Is that right? And then if we go into the mesh, we also need the mesh to ignore the camera, right? So we're going to set this to custom as well. And we're going to tell it to ignore the camera. And I don't know why these are unchecked by default, but we're going to put them back. Did you do that? I didn't do that. Did you do that? I didn't do that. It comes that way from Epic. Why did they do that? I don't know. They do a lot of weird shit I don't understand. Okay, so now we can walk right behind the characters and it won't clip the stupid camera, which is better. Anyway, what I was trying to say was when we're in these other animation sets, the rifle looks okay-ish, but the pistol, I want you to watch what his hands do. Right? See how Well, I don't know. It does. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I've seen wrong, but it looks like that the hands are not staying close together. See how they're spreading apart or whatever. Now, there's a bunch of different ways to fix that, but I noticed in here when I was dicking around that there were some pistol. There were some 45 in here. Okay. You see, we put in center, center, center down, and center up, but there is center down 45, and then there is center up 45. So we're going to put them, we're going to add them to our aim offset that I already created. So we're going to go to asset actions here, and we're going to say bulk edit via property matrix here. And we're going to, this is mesh space, selected animation frame, and we need the idle. So this will be idle. No, this will be pistol idle. That, right? We need to set that. And then we will save that. Hello, Hugo. I see you guys over there. I do have chat open. I'm just kind of talking to myself here, doing some crap. So now we need to go put them in the aim offset, right? So we created the pistol here. We need to put in the 45s, right? So this is down. So we need, holy crap, are we ever going to be able to find this? underscore pistol underscore, what was it? AO? Nope. Idle. Ah, here we go. Of course I can't see them, which is fine. So it was for aim down sights. There it is. Center down 45. So we're going to put that one here. And then we need center up 45. And we're going to put that one here. And so basically that will give the character a more full range of motion, which you can still see his fucking hands still keep coming off that weapon. So I don't know if that'll help or not. We may have to do the fix the other way. Okay. Let's just go see if that actually even helped. I don't know. It seems to have helped. Maybe. It's hard to tell in these little ass windows. Oh, hit himself in the crotch. Look at that. Ugh. Okay. So now what do we need to do? We need to try to do that stupid turn in place, I guess. Which is not going to be fun, by the way. And the way that I'm going to do this is I'm not going to be using the so they have a distance matching plugin built into this engine now. And theoretically, you should be able to set up turn in place using that. But the way that I've did it in my other project, that didn't exist at the time. So there is another way that you can accomplish a turn in place animation without using that plugin. And that is the way that I'll probably do this. Okay. So we get to go reference yet another one of my projects, which is discontinued and not for sale anymore, which was called Jetpack FPS Basic. So we're going to create one of these, and we'll go in here and look and see if I can recreate the way that I did turn in place in this project in my new project, this TPS starter project that I'm working on. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. It'll either work or it'll be a complete utter failure and a waste of time. One of the two, or maybe both. I don't know. How about now? Open, you bastard. So, this is the turn in place that I did in this project. So you see how the character can actually pan to the left and pan to the right? And then when he hits a specific degree, you will see that he plays a turn in place animation. See that? So that is what we're going to try to recreate. This was actually a cool project, by the way. Anyway, so let's see. Let's see if I can figure out how the hell I even did this. Does anybody know? I don't even know. Let's see. That would be under characters, under blueprints. And this has 2 animation blueprints, so it'll probably be in this one. And in the event graph, wow, this one got pretty complicated, didn't it? So we have this thing here called used for turn in place. So we have to recreate this part here. And then this is also used for turn in place. So that means we would have to recreate all of this. And then somewhere in here, there is this thing called idle and turns. If we open that and that, we have an idle, several idles actually. And then we have this for turns. Okay, so what do these turn animations even look like, right? That would be the first part to start with. Okay. Where's the rest of the body? Let's see. We need to go. We need the full body. I don't want that. So we need to go into where this mannequin is. I don't know why it does this, but I believe that it uses as a preview the last mannequin that you open. So apparently I'd have the arms only open, and I want the full body. Okay, so now let's go back in here and see what this animation looks like. Okay, so basically it's him doing a turn, and it has a curve in it. A distance, it's called distance curve. And well, okay. Oh, I see here. The time is set to 0. And the value is -90. And then up here, the time is set to 0.5 and the value is 0. So that's just a curve that it uses. I must have added that in there. Okay. So, with that being the case, we need to go look at these Lyra animations and see what we actually have in here, if it's something similar. If the animation is not similar to what I used in that other project, this won't work. Okay. So we need to go look and see. We'll just look in the unarmed and we'll look and see if we have any turn animations in here. So we have MM unarmed turn left 90. So we do have a turn. And as you can see, it's pretty much the same, but it does not have the same type curve in here. So this has a remaining turn yaw curve, and it has a turn yaw weight curve, which is not the same. Okay. So, do we just add another curve? I don't know. I don't know. Add curve. Yeah, you can add a curve here. So we would just have to create a new curve. Okay. So I'm going to have to make that kind of match. So I'm going to have to go back in here and we're going to have to see. So this one, let's open this back up again. So this one is time starts at 0 and it goes to -90. And then this one is time 0. No, time 0.05 and it goes to 0. So that is the left. Let's see if the right is exactly the same. Just a different animation. So time 0, -90, time 0.5, value 0. So essentially it's the exact same curve on the left and the right. Okay. So we're going to see if we can do this. And I am going to cheat. Okay. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to hit Control C, and then I'm going to go paste this in here. I don't want to spend all day doing this, right? So I'm going to cheat, which is why you have projects, right? This is why you have reference projects. This is the very reason why you buy things off the UE4 marketplace, right? So you can have reference projects so that you don't have to ever go from ground zero. You can, oh, well, hell, I did this in that project. Well, I'm going to paste this in here. And it looks like we already have a yaw variable in here. So I'm going to unhook these and then plug this back in here. We need this variable called yaw last tick. So I'm going to right click, create variable, yaw last tick. And then we will file that and save it. And why is that an integer, right? That shouldn't be an integer. That should be a float. So why, Unreal Engine, are you trying to be a doucher? All right, and we will unhook this. Plug this in here, in here. And that we need to create. And it created as an integer too, which I don't know why. It's supposed to be a float. I don't know why. Okay, and then we will compost that and save it. And then we need to hook that into our logic here. So I'm just going to bring this down here like this. and hook it up. Okay. Now let me just go back and look and make sure that those, why did it make those integers? I don't get it. I just copy and pasted it. I don't get it. Oh shit, we got to get actor rotation. Okay. And that's what goes into the yaw. So I thought something was still unhooked in here. Back in here. Yeah, that goes here. And the target is the actor, so that would be the character. Voila. Okay, so there's that bit, and now we get to do the other bit. So we're going to come back in here and that'll be all this stuff right here. So we're going to copy all this, Control C, and then we're going to come in here and hit Control V, and then we get to fix a bunch of shit, same as we did earlier. Okay. So I thought we already created the root yaw offset. Let's go ahead and compile this and save it here, and let's just see what's broke. Okay, so we need to create this variable, and that is supposed to be a float, which it created an integer again. Why the f does it do that? Epic ain't as smart as they thought they were. Right, so that goes there, that goes there. Unhook this. That goes there. Oh, wow. Curve value, that's supposed to be a float. And let's call it and save that. That's supposed to be a float. I'm just patching this stuff up that I pasted in here. I might not be able to get this to work. We're going to try. Was that in the top or the bottom one? What the hell has happened to this? Maybe it's because something ain't plugged up. I don't know. Let's go back and look at the reference again. What in the hell is going on here? So it's -1 and 1, and that's supposed to be pick A, and that does go in the top. I'll never get this to work, but whatever. -1, 1. Is that what that was? Save. That does go into the top there. I still got a warning. Oh, refresh. Refresh nodes. There you go. Why are you being that way? Refresh nodes. What else is still broke? Okay, this is moving. I think there is a variable in here already called should move. I believe that's exactly the same as the one that I had in that other project. I believe it's doing the same thing. Okay. Now I just want to make sure that these values here are the same. So let's go back over to the reference. I should have this. I should have just opened this on my other screen over there, but whatever. So is turning A, B is 1, and the tolerance is 0.001. Tolerance is 0.001. This will never work. Not in a million years. And I'm just going to, for now, just plug this in here. Off of that chain. Well, you know what? Actually, that looks like shit. So let's just add another pin. And we'll do this. There, it looks less like shit. Get curve value. Is turning. I don't know, guys. This might not work. We will try. Okay. Now, I need to kind of go back in here into the anim graph. What the hell did I do here? So, I have a state here called idle and turns. And then inside it is a state machine called idle and turns. Wow, that seems a bit redundant, but whatever. We will do the same. So that means we need to go into the anim graph, and inside here, I need to create a new state machine, and it shall be called idle and turns. This will get cut, so that will be Control X, and that shall be pasted. Oh, no. We got to do a new state, and this shall be called idle. And then inside here, that is where we paste that. File that and save it. And then we come back out of here. That gets plugged in here. And we're back in business. I am going to actually put that on my other screen over here because I'm getting tired of flip-flopping back and forth. So let me get this other stuff moved over to my other screen. Okay, so that idle, it's just all idles. And we have one called turns. Yeah, okay. So let me back up here. Yeah, that's right. It goes into there. So then inside here, we will need another state called turns. And then that will go from here to here and back. Trying to speed this along. And I'm looking at this rule here. So this rule for going into the turns is the root yaw offset. We get that, and then we get the absolute float. And that has to be greater than 75. And that is the rule to get in here. And now let's see how we get the hell out. It seems as though I have that just set to an automatic rule. Okay, so that would be an automatic rule. Okay, done. Ship it. And hold on, we got to go inside the turns here. And for now, I'm just going to put in the unarmed to see if I can get this to work, and then I'll expand it out to include the correct one for the correct animation set. So this will be mm underscore unarmed underscore turn, and that will be, oh, not 180, turn left 90 and turn right 90. And then we got to have a rule in here, so this will be blend by bool. And we will say if the root yaw offset is greater than 0, then we are in fact turning. And the left will be if that's true, and the false will be right. Just like that. Okay. So now, well, what the hell do we do now? Well, now we got to go try to, we got to go try to deal with the animations, I believe, right? We got to add a we got to add a distance curve, a turning curve in the animation itself. So let me just look at my reference over here for potentially one more thing. We will probably be using a rotate root bone node. But for now, we're just going to leave that unhooked for just now. But that's how I did it in that other project. I'm rotating the root bone. So we'll see. I still feel like I'm missing something here. Yeah. It's, hold on here. Let me go back and look at this for a second here. -1 and 1. That's correct. Distance curve. So it looks like there's two things that actually have to be added to that animation, because that is one curve value called distance curve. And then there is another curve value called is turning. So I'm going to have to go look at these animations again, just to see what is the hell going on here. Oh, I bet I know what it is. What the hell was that called again? It's a metadata called is turning. Okay. All right, pray for me. Here we go. We're going to try to get this done here. So in the animations, in the unarmed, we need the mm_unarmed. You know what? We're already in unarmed, so why don't we just do turning? And let's get the, I want to create, first I'm going to create a duplicate of these animations so that if I dick them up, I can go back. Okay. So we're going to take turn left and we're going to duplicate that. And we're going to take turn right and we're going to duplicate that. Okay. Okay. So inside here, we need to add a metadata. Let's just make sure they don't already have one in here. I don't believe they do, right? I mean, they got a whole astronomical shitload of stuff in here. But that is none of what we need, right? So how do you add a new one? Or do you just do, how the fuck do you add a new one? I don't remember. Ah, there, create new. Okay. And this is going to be is turning. Just like that. Beautiful. Okay. And then we need to add a curve. Let's see. Do they already have a distance? Ground distance. Hell, let's just make a new one, right? Because I don't trust their shit. Create curve, and we will call this distance curve. Okay. And edit curve. Yeah, and we need what? Hold down tab. How the fuck do you create your little dots? I don't remember. Yep, and that'll be 0 and -90. And then we add another one. And that one will be 0.5 and 0. Okay. Theoretically, that's all that had to be done. So now let's go back in here. Walk. Nope, that's wrong. Idle. Actually, let me go ahead and change the name of this to idle and turns. Otherwise, I'll lose where the hell they're at. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Okay, and then in here, the one we just did was turn left 90. So let's just see if it does anything yet. Let's go back to one player for now because reasons. Well, it's trying. It's trying awful damn hard. Okay, so let me go look at the reference project over here and let me see if I did anything in the character blueprint. I don't remember if I did or if I didn't, but there could potentially be something that I did in here. Maybe it's, let's see, is that use? What the hell is that called? Use controller rotation, y'all. What the hell is it called? Use controller rotation, yaw is true. So let me just do a little bit of maybe debugging here. I don't know, it may not work. Like literally, it may not work. Character movement, class defaults, yaw. Use controller rotation, yaw is true. And that is true. Okay, what else? I think what's happening here is it's moving the capsule, right? I mean, so what did we do to that? Was it orient? Orient rotation to movement is false. Orient rotation to movement is false. And the camera use pawn control rotation is true. use on control rotation is true. So all that looks to be correct. So the only other thing I can think of is that we actually need that rotate root bone connected, right? Remember, I put it in here, but we didn't connect it yet. So if we do this, and then we use the root yaw offset as the yaw, does that change anything? Like, can I get him to go left? Oh yeah, that that looks fantastic. Oh yeah, that's, you know, perfect. That is so crazy. Okay, well, I'm missing something here, obviously. Okay, let's go back into this animation here. And let's just quadruple check that I got that right. I'm pretty sure we're going to have that hooked up anyway. You know, it could be, you know, the way that I implemented this, guys, not what we just did, but the movement of this character. Now, you guys remember I'm using one of the plugins, and it's called, what the hell is that plugin called? It's the one that has that in it. It's orientation warping. So what are the chances that the orientation warping is actually what's breaking this? I don't know. Let's see if that changes anything. Obviously not. I still think that's pretty hysterical. He just spins around in a circle. Okay. Let's go back in here and look at this animation again. What am I missing here? So let me look at my reference over here again. So we've got that distance curve, and it's going from 0 to -90. Oh, wait a minute. Which damn one did I do, right or left? Hey, wait a minute. Where? Oh, wait. I'm opening the... I know what it is. Remember I duplicated these animations? Yeah. Yeah, they're not called that anymore. It's called turn, unarmed turn, not MF. It's MM. Turn left 91. Remember? And turn right 91. That's the problem, I bet. I bet you. Okay, how about now? Oh yeah, that's exactly the problem. No, it's still the same fucking thing. Okay, let's open these up and make sure that our stuff stayed. So is turning, that's just a metadata. And the distance curve, let's make sure that that is correct. So we should have 2 in here. And it goes from 0 to -90. That is correct. And then the other one goes from 0 to -90. No, it goes from 0.5 to 0. Yeah, that's correct. So it could still be what I thought it was a minute ago, right? So let's go back here and let's disable this orient rotation warping thing here again and see if that changes anything. Fuck it, just leave it like that. Ship it. So that didn't change anything. Okay, so let's undo that root bone thing again. Obviously, it don't like this. Whatever the hell I've done here, it does not fucking like this. Oh, wait a minute. You know what else it could be? Let's go back and look at those animations again. I believe these animations have root motion, right? So it could be that. So let's go back in the anim graph. I would really like for this to work, but it's definitely not wanting to cooperate. Right, so if we open up that, and then we come over here, it's got enable root motion, right? I don't think we want that. How about now? I mean, it looks like the bottom part is kind of doing what it's supposed to. It's the upper part that's fucking wigging out, it looks like. Who the hell knows? All right, fine. Let's do this one, right? So we need to, I'll dick with it. Maybe I can get it to work, maybe not. Who the hell knows? Add metadata. And we should already have this in here now, which is called is turning. And then we create a new curve. Or no, we use the distance curve that we already created in here. Distance curve. And then we add our dot. Oh, wait a minute. We got to go to edit curve. Add our dot. And that is supposed to be 0. And -90. And then we add another one. And that one is supposed to be 0.5. And 0. It could be that the animation needs longer, right? Like we might have to change that from 0.5 to something else. Okay, that's possible. And let's go ahead and do the same with the root motion on this, because I know we definitely don't need that. Okay, now let's see what happens. It's never stopping playing the animation. Okay. let's hook back up the rotate root bone thing. Oh yeah, that works perfectly. Right, so let's go back into that orientation warping shit again. It's one of the, I believe it's that orientation warping shit. I honestly believe that's what's causing this. Could be. So you're supposed to use that distance mashing plug-in or whatever with this. Is that unhooked? Wow. Go back in here. But see, it's not using that in this state. Or is it? Like, am I using one of them anywhere else? Nope. They're only in here, which it shouldn't be getting to here. But just for the sake of saying we did, we're going to unhook all these. So close, but yet so far away. Okay, so now none of the orientation warping shit is even connected. So that ain't even remotely correct. Okay. I don't know, guys. In theory, that should work. Maybe it's got something to do. Yeah, that definitely goes to yaw. We don't need that, and we don't need the pitch. Let me turn them off. Is there something on that I've not got set correctly? Right, so no, there's no settings on that. Let me check a couple other things here. Oh, wait a minute. I see one thing here that could potentially be doing it. Right, so inside this is set to max transitions is set to 1. Let's see, is there any other shit in here that's set that way? Skip first update transition is checked true. Everything else looks the same. So let's go see if that had any kind of an effect. Surely the hell that wasn't what it was. No. It's so close. I mean, it's like so close that it's making my brains hurt. I don't know, guys. May have just wasted a whole day. Turn that off for just a second. Let's see if it's because it's trying to jump back and forth. Why, hell no, I didn't have shit to do with it. Greater than 75. I'm just looking through these settings here just to see if there's anything in here that I've missed. No, I'm not seeing anything that I missed. So the only other thing could be that there's something in the event graph that's not wanting to play ball. Right? Let's take this out for a second. I mean, that right there works closer to correct. So I'm beginning to think, here's what I'm beginning to think. It's something in the event graph, right? Because that's where this value comes from, right here. So let's go back into the event graph and look this shit over again. Okay, let's make sure that this is correct. So we're getting the actor's rotation. And that is the character, right? That's exactly correct. And then we're getting the yaw, and we're setting a yaw last tick. And then we're setting a yaw here. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I bet you I'm already setting yaw somewhere, right? Because we already had, didn't we already have a yaw variable in here? I bet you I just found it. Right there. Ta-da! That right there is the issue, I bet you. So let me file that and save it. And let's see now. How about now? Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Darn God, you glorious bastard. I fixed it. Okay, now let me bring Chad up over here and see if you guys had that figured out 3 hours ago. Let's see. Dragon Cave Studio, so it was getting confused. Also, hi John. Yes, that is correct. It was flipping the shit out. So now let me go back in here and let me delete that so that I don't do that again. There's still a couple other things that I need to do and I need to clean up a little bit. But that's the gist of it, right? So that is actually working now, so that's good. Let me go hook all those. Okay, so we do have that hooked up. And we need to go back in here and hook all this orientation warp and shit back up. Otherwise, we got no strafes. Just to make sure that this don't explode. We're also going to need a 2D aim offset now, right? Because we're actually needing it to look to the left and to the right now. And I just put a 1D aim offset in here. So that'll have to be changed. Okay. I think that needs to go back in here. I believe that needs sped up, right? Because I think what I did was I set this one. No, that's set to 0.1. Maybe I should set that back to 0.2. I believe that's what that was at default. These right here, like I use the same distance curve that I did on my other ones. These might actually need to be different, right? How long is that animation? Oh, I mean, it looks like it's 5. How long is this entire animation? Ah, hell, I don't know. I don't want to have to sit in here dicking with this for 3 hours. It's still not. It's still not exactly right, I don't think. He's not. See there, now I'm completely out of kilter, right? So as long as you don't try to go faster, which sure, there, you know, nobody would ever try to outrun the turn in place. But see, if you do that, see, now he's going the wrong way. See, maybe that would change with a 2D aim offset. So I don't know. Let's try that. Let's switch this over from a 1D to a 2D aim offset and see if that might cure that. So, where the hell is that? How do we do that? What is that? I don't know. Right, so we created that. We need a 2D aim offset. So we are going to right click and we're going to create a aim offset, not 1D, 2D. And that'll be for the mannequin, and we will call this AO unarmed 2D. How about that? And then we shall have shit, what order do these go in? And so that would be yaw, and that will be -180 to 180. And snap to grid. And then the vertical axis, that would be pitch. And that would be -90 to +90. Okay. And then we get to go find them. Unarmed idle. God, are we ever going to be able to do this? So center goes here. Center down here. Center up here. Left center would go here. Oh, that one ain't going to go. Shit, and I know why too. Damn it. I'm going to have to go fix these damn animations. God damn it. It's always something in it. Right? So we need unarmed. So we already did center down, center up. We need left center, left down, left up, and then we need right center, right down, and right up. We got to go in here and set these stupid settings on these things. Bulk edit via property matrix, additive settings, and this needs to be set to unarmed idle. That. Okay. So now we should be able to put left center here and left down here, left up here, right center here, right down here, and right up here. Now, is that right? Okay. So now we get to go back in here and we need to put in the 2D aim offset. This turned out to be a whole hell of a lot more work than I meant for it to be. And we have pitch. And that yaw, we need the yaw that I had, right? But we're going to have to name it something different. Where the hell did I do that at? Right here. Right? We do need this yaw, but this needs to be called something different than just yaw. We will call this AO yaw. I don't even know if this will fix it or not, but it's worth a shot. Something still ain't exactly right with this turn in place, and I don't know exactly what it is. AO yaw. All right, and let me, because these two are the exact same, so let me duplicate this off. And we will do this, that, and that. There's something wrong with the bottom of that aim offset. What's wrong here? Oh, wait a minute. I know what it is. Snap to grid. Fucking piece of shit. Why is that not turned on by default, Epic? God damn it. Just stupid shit. All right, how about now? He don't even look like he is he ain't even looking that way. I still feel like there's a setting missing or something. I know what we can do. Let's do this. Let's put an arrow on this character. Oh no, that's not right. We need to add an arrow. There we go. And then we want that to be visible. So not hidden in game. Let's see what is actually going on here. So it's rotating the capsule. But it's not lining him exactly back up straight again. That's part of the problem. See how the capsule's turning? And when he gets done playing that animation, he should end up straight again, and he's not. So what does that mean? That means that, what does that mean? That means that the animation is not completing, I think. Or we could add some to that root yaw offset, right? Because something's out of whack here, right? Because it's not rotating the root bone around far enough, right? So let's just try to do a little math. So where the hell am I doing that? Right here. So if we were to take that and add an amount to it, let's see if this can be adjusted here. So if we were to add, I don't know, 35 to that, let's see if that helps the situation or hurts it. Actually, it's already rotated him, see? He's already out of whack. So, shit! That can't go there. Because that rotates him before he even turns, right? So that can't be. The math's got to go somewhere else. Okay, so where the hell are we setting a root yaw offset? Fuck, I don't know. Root yaw offset, change over frame. What the hell is that? Wait a minute, we're missing something here. Where the hell is this variable getting set at? That's got to be getting set somewhere. Yaw change over frame. We got yaw last. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Could we just add it here? I don't know. I don't know. How about now? Oh, yeah, that fixed it. Now we're back to that shit again. Obviously, that ain't gonna fucking work. That's hysterical. Oh well. Can't nothing be perfect in a game, can it? It's a shame. This is so close to being okay-ish. Maybe I should start his turn sooner, right? Like in there, in there a setting in here for that? Hold on. Right, like we're going into the turns. Oh, right here, right? So 75. Maybe we should start that at. Let's try 65. Maybe that'll get it done. Nah, I don't believe that helps shit. I still can't figure out why he ain't doing his aim offset. I mean, that would probably help if that was working. Well, let's go see if we can figure that out. So, what the hell was that? 75? Let's leave that alone. Let's see if we can figure out why his aim offset ain't working. Because he should be looking to the left. Why you no have aim offset? Why? Hmm. You know, it may be. Could it be this? No, I don't think it would be that. Hmm. Well, let's put a print string here. And see what value is coming out of this. I'm already sick of working on this. All for a fucking stupid turn in place goddamn animation. Really? Well, that's because that's not putting a value out. Why not? Well, it looks like I may have to open my reference back up again. Let me go just open that back up real quick, see if I did anything different in there. But that should be when you are turning before the turning place kicks in, he should be looking to the left, and he's not. So something's apparently foobarred. Unless I'm wrong, like wasn't he turning in this project, like his upper body turning? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, how about now? Open. Oh, great. It's going to open over there now. Is that how we're going to roll? Fine. Let me just check and make sure. Isn't that what's happening here? Yeah, see, his upper body is rotating. And in that project, that ain't so. Let me put a stupid arrow on him and make sure. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, great. It opened on my other screen because, of course, it did. Hang on. I just got a text here. Let me see what this is. Nothing important. Okay. Now, what the hell was I doing now? Oh, I was going to put an arrow on him. So add an arrow. There we go. And we want that to not be hidden in game. Let's see what this one's doing. I could have swore there was some other setting that I had to change. So let's see. Can we see the arrow? Yeah, see, he's not lining up exactly with it either. But the difference, I believe, is because this one is actually using a 2D aim offset and it's counteracting it, right? So let me let's see, what am I doing? Who am I? What am I doing again? Oh yeah, we need to look at this aim offset and let's just make sure that this is correct, right? So horizontal axis is yaw. Oh, look at that. There it is. I already see it. I put negative 180 to 180. Son of a bitch. All that fucking trouble for that. Are you fucking shitting me? Really? Son of a bitch. Well, hey, you live and you learn, right? Yeah, that's supposed to be negative 90 and 90. And we just blew this whole thing up. I've got like 10,000 errors over here. What the fuck did I just do here? I just blew this whole thing up. Well, okay, we will start over again then. Have it your way. Okay, so we need unarmed, idle, and we need center down, center up, left center, left down, left up, right center, right down, right up. How about now? He's fucking still not turning his head. Are you fucking shitting me? Is this still broke? Hmm. Oh, this is pissing me off. Oh, look, he's turning here. You know, maybe it's where maybe it's where it's being blended in at. Like what I'm saying here is this might have to be blended. The aim offset might have to be blended in a different location. Well, let's go back and look at that project again. I'm about to give up. Because turn in place is not that goddamn important to me. But we're this close to having it actually working. And so I would like for it to work. And it does work. It just looks a little weird. And I believe it is because that this project here has a 2D aim offset. And so it's compensating for that little bit of discrepancy between well, I guess maybe it ain't really either. Well, I don't know. Let's go see if I can figure out where I blended that aim offset in here. No, it would be under characters. It would be here and in the anim graph. So layered blend per bone. Now here. Oh, I see. It's because I'm using the root yaw offset and not the pitch. Son of a bitch. Imagine how much cussing I'd be doing if I didn't have this reference project to look at. Oh, I'd be over this already. So that's the problem, right? We're using yaw and we need to be using the same damn one that we're using to rotate the stupid root bone. And I think it'll be backwards probably. And we'll have to multiply this by -11 or -1, I think. But let's just see. Yeah, it's working, but it's backwards, which is fine. Okay, so times -1. Then we do this, and voila, we have it. Well, that was about a pain in the balls. Well, it's still a little bit funky, but I think I can be okay with that. I mean, jackass players are going to get in your game and they're going to sit here and do this shit, right? So does it really fucking matter at the end of the day? It doesn't matter how much you work and how much you try and how much you put into trying to make it look beautiful. They're going to fucking break it anyway. Right? So I didn't put stops and starts in, and I'm not gonna. I still think I might put crouch in. I'm not sure. But there's still a lot left to do here, right? Because now what will have to happen is I'll have to create 2D aim offsets for rifle and pistol, right? So that's one thing that I have to do. Then inside these turns in here, the same modification that I made to these, I'm going to have to make to the rifle and the pistol. So I'm going to have to go into those and add that metadata and that distance curve into all those animations. So I am not going to sit here and do that on live stream today. But we now have, oh, wait a minute. I do need to check one more thing, which is make sure that this turn in place is actually replicating, right? Because that's another thing that matters. So I seen it on my screen and on the right screen. I see it on my screen and the right screen. Now let's take the client and I see it on my screen and on the left screen. So yeah, it replicates. So there wasn't much to that, honestly. And that 2D aim offset is replicating as well. See him looking left and right. Let me just check that over here. Yep. All right. Awesome. Okay. Back to one player. All right. So, I got to finish that, get all those other aim offsets made, and get those animations modified. And then I will decide at that point if I'm going to put crouch in or not. And if I do, well, then that's a wrap, Jack, because I'm not putting in starts and stops and pivots and all that horse shit. Ain't going to happen. Because frankly, I don't give a shit about that stuff. Some people do. I don't. Because let me tell you why. Just the same as I can sit in here and do this shit and break this fucking turn in place that I've sat here and wasted 3 hours making. You don't think that your players can forward, backward, and left and right and break all that damn pivot shit too? Right? You don't think they can break it? Show me a single game that you can't get in there and break the damn movement. So they're going to break it anyway. The goal is to just make it look as good as you can. But there comes a point in time in my book where, you know, what, you're going to spend 6 months of your game development fucking with Locomotion? Is that what we're going to do? Well, you ain't never going to get a game made, right? Oh, well, if it don't look as good as the Paragon game, well, then it ain't worth a damn. That ain't true. Right? I mean, there ain't none of us people that do this that don't work for a professional game studio. There ain't none of us got millions of dollars to invest in creating a unbreakable locomotion system. Okay. Ask Epic how much money they had invested in the animation system in Paragon. Ask them. How much money did it cost for you guys to make all these animations and, you know, tweak all these settings and script all this leaning and all this? But how much money do you have invested in that, Epic? How much? Millions of dollars. I guarantee it. All right. So with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. There probably is no reason. There's probably no reason for you guys to watch me do the rest of this, because all I'm going to do is add that metadata and that distance curve to those other 4 animations, right? So there'll be a rifle turn left and a rifle turn right, pistol turn left, pistol turn right. So that'll be added. And then I will have to create a 2D aim offset for the rifle and one for the pistol. And then that should be the end of it, with the only exception being I might put crouch in, maybe, if the mood hits me just right. But we have, it's about as far as I'm going to go. And then this will be my 3rd person starter template to, you know, if somebody requests me to make a tutorial and makes a contribution or whatever, this will be the project that we start from. Okay. And that's all it is, really. Nothing spectacular. But it is something better to start from than from having to go from absolute ground zero, right? So that's all I was aiming to do. So with that, you guys take care. This is John Galt, and we will see you in another video in another time. Have a good one, fellows and fellettes, right? There's ladies around here sometimes. So you all take care.